Welcome, everyone, to Aurora, Colorado, Denver Motorsports Park, a 3.75-mile oval infield road course combination, race 14 of the AT&T Champ Car World Series season. 11 races to go, including today. And there's some drama to talk about going into this race. Obviously, coming off of Kentucky, Evangeline Porter, a 36-point gap between herself and Wyatt Jones. BK Glover reassuming the third position in the point standings over Mia Valdez. But it's becoming a two-horse race between the top two Ford drivers as the season goes along. Nicole Lechty, who qualified third, winner last time out in the Bluegrass State, will try to go back-to-back here. It's Hazel Leon on pole position once again this season as a super sub for the injured Kuni Kinoshita. The big news going into this race, though, is that Obsidian Racing Team is out of the rest of the 2024 World Series season. Bianca Lucero and the 88 team will move to finish the year in the Champ Car Challenger Series. You'll see them again at Nazareth Speedway on July 6th. That came about after a purchase worth about $6 million. Arrowhead Racing, now a three-car team once again. Siri Lundqvist in that orange and blue car, starting fourth. Number 97 adorning that car. More news coming out of the woodworks here. Arrowhead Racing, the factory team for Dodge in its return to American racing en masse. Its first time in the IndyCar World Championship and in Champ Car in general. There's never been an official Ford entry in American Open Wheel Racing. That'll change next year. Arrowhead Racing leading the way for that. So, important times. The 97 car trying to get above the relegation cut line. We have championship contenders, championship hopefuls, and a lot of racing to get to here in Denver Motorsports Park. As I mentioned earlier, Evangeline Porter, a leader in the points by 36, and could extend that by quite a margin, qualifying fifth in this race. Wyatt Jones, meanwhile, starts this race in 13th position. We'll go over the full starting grid here. Qualifying results from yesterday not reflective of the full starting grid. Three engine grid drops had to be served here. Anastasius von Sonnen unable to serve his, qualifying 26th and last on the grid once again, still having the full 10-place grid penalty hanging over his head from his engine failure in Nazareth. Two engine failures from Kentucky, Juliet Tacani and Thomas Rogers, both of them at the back of the field as well, serving theirs in full to take into account the engine penalty from Anastasius von Sonnen. So Rogers and Tacani, they are starting 25th and 24th. Von Sonnen 26th. Esther Hofson, now last place in the full-time standings, sitting in 23rd to get this race started in Denver. Majestic racetrack here in Denver Motorsports Park. Hazel Leon, once again, pole sitter alongside Stephanie Porter-Kelly, Nicole Lechty, and Siri Lundqvist sitting in row number 2. It's an all-atomic row 3 with Porter and Natalia Velisevich sitting in that row. Row 4 is where you'll find Alicia Kovalkiewicz and Sakura Ishibashi. Artyom Kozlov and Matthias Michelin round out the top 10. This has been a season, a year of absolute mystery. 13 races in, 13 races completed. We've had 12 different winners. Thomas Rogers opened the season with 2 wins back-to-back, and Adelaide in the first race in Melbourne has not won since. It's been a different winner every other race this season. Nicole Lechty's got a win. Porter-Kelly is still looking for her first win of the season. Hazel Leon starting full position. Can the 32 car return to victory lane with a different driver? Kinoshita won in Mexico City, for those that maybe can't cast their minds too far back to March earlier this year. How about Lundqvist starting fourth? A winner here in 2021 when we first came to Denver for Arrowhead Racing. Starting fourth, she loves this racetrack, and I think it's in kind. I believe we missed the command to fire engines, but it doesn't mean we are not about to go firing into the formation lap. The full running order was at the bottom of your screen. We'll go over the rest of the starting grid now. We talked about the top 10 already. BK Glover and Mia Valdez sit in row number 6. Row 7 is where you'll find Wyatt Jones and Andrew Draco. Simona Leroux and Kage Kobayashi sit in row number 8. Row 9 is where you'll find Elise Alexander and Astrid Crane, both of them having really good runs at Kentucky, especially for Crane, a much-needed run for that 80 crew at the midway point of the season. Cameron Jackson, Captain Hart in the 10th row of the field. They round out the top 20. Shufan Zhang and Marcus Petrovich in row 11. Esther Hofston, as we mentioned, starting 23rd alongside Juliet Takani. Thomas Rogers and Anastasius von Sonen in the last row of the grid. We had 3-stage qualifying for those that missed it on ABN Plus yesterday. For those that maybe don't follow through, Q1 sets the positions 19th through 26th before penalties are applied. Q2 sets 11th through 18th. Rogers and Takani knocked out in Q2, hence where they are starting at right now. The top 10 went to the pole shootout, which is where we saw Hazel Leon put in a blistering lap time, a 1:37.423. Fantastic lap time for Hazel Leon, who is no stranger to this track either. We can see them master it once again. Third time we've been to Denver Motorsports Park, 2021, 2023, and this year, the third time running, just outside of Aurora, Colorado. 3.75-mile racetrack. Very creative, very undulating, this infield road course. Drivers love it because of its characteristics. Fans love it because there's always something going on here at Denver. And we get to see more of that here today. 11 races to go, including today. Do we get a new winner? Do we finally get a repeat winner once again? What happens across 50 laps here in Denver Motorsports Park? We will find out. Again, Hazel Leon, Stephanie Porter-Kelly. That's your front row. Nicole Lechty and Syria Lundquist, that orange and blue PNC Bank machine, sitting in row 2. Returning for the first time this season with some work to do. 26 cars ready to fire off as the pace car takes the run to pit lane. It'll soon be showtime. Into the marked zone, and away we go. We are racing here in Denver, and it's a long, winding way through across the oval section of this racetrack, through ovals turn 1 and 2. Wide racetrack, full downforce for the infield that is to come. And here we go, 3 wide. That is Porter to the inside of Lechty, and the outside is the 32 of Leon. Cars spinning off wildly. Wyatt Jones, one of those cars. Wyatt Jones, part of the 3-car spin, spun around. That is Michelin and Ishibashi also involved. Wyatt Jones now in 26th as his championship rival, the leader of the race, continues to fight for the race lead. Hazel Leon back out front, ahead of Porter, ahead of Porter-Kelly. And here comes Alicia Kovalkiewicz around both Lundquist and Lechty. Lechty falling back, now side by side with Kozlov. Hectic first lap. Wyatt Jones, the worst of it, as Porter drops down from the lead temporarily to 3rd place. 2 Fords in a Chevrolet. Here comes Porter, looking to fight back on both Porter-Kelly and Leon, as it's almost 3 wide for 4th. Kovalkiewicz, a bad exit to the last backstretch chicane. Side by side, Lechty and Lundquist and Kovalkiewicz now. Bogged down. Both Leon and Porter. Porter-Kelly in the outside lane. Gonna try to go for the race lead. Look at Lechty go. Lechty to the inside. Wow. And everyone trying to make some moves here in Denver. Lap 2 in progress right now. There's Andrew Draco. Where did he come from 14th on the grid? See the skid marks from the 3-car incident on lap 1. It stayed green, no caution. Wyatt Jones, though, 26th. You see cars coming down pit lane. That is Astra Crane, who was a part of the initial contact that triggered that 3-car crash. Michelin and Ishibashi still on the racetrack at the moment. Wyatt Jones, after tagging the Armco there out of turn 3, some longer time in pit lane. With how long this racetrack is, not in any danger of going a lap down anytime soon. 1 minute 41 second lap times by the race leaders is what you're going to be expecting here at this nearly 4-mile racetrack that is not like Road America at all. A little bit slower in the pace. Primary tires also in effect. We've used the alternates the first 2 times we came here. Now we're on the primary tires, and it's jostling some positions around pretty quickly here. Lechty as quickly as she got to second, now down to 4th. Porter Kelly in control of this race, still looking for career win 47 and champ car. Hazel Leon looking for career win number 12. A little bit of bog down there for Kovalkiewicz, side by side with Lechty. Here comes, look at this 97 of Lundqvist around Porter and around Draco. Everyone struggling with that last chicane massively. Seems like both chicanes, a little bit of a struggle. As well as the rejoin onto the oval seems to be some massive struggles here as teammates side by side. That's Lechty ahead of both Lundqvist and Kovalkiewicz. These are 2 battling for 4th. You know, looks like Kovalkiewicz will hold on to that 4th spot at the moment. Side by side still, teammates still duking it out. Lundqvist immediately punching high on her return to the series after spending some time in the GTP program for Alpine. Jumping back in full force. Now under threat from the championship leader Evangeline Porter, who gets to take a little bit of a more easy approach. Easy in quotations. Porter's trying to really blow this championship lead wide open ahead of Portland next weekend. Back-to-back races. Portland next weekend, July 6th. Doubleheader with the Challenger Series. Challenger Series will be at Nazareth. The World Series will be in Michigan for the second of 3 Triple Crown Oval events. As we watch Lundqvist under threat and being passed at the moment by Velicevic and Valdez. Look at the 11 of Alexander moving forward. Look at the 31 just behind here. That is of Catherine Hart, who is closing in more and more on the top 10. Catherine Hart up to 13th around Kozlov and around the 42 of Kage Kobayashi. Esther Hofson from 23rd on the grid and up to 16th. Ahead of Juliet Takani, who started on the who started 24th. And Thomas Rogers there. There's where you'll find Sakura Ishibashi and Matthias Michelin. They wasted no time getting back to this group. Ishibashi already ahead of the 76 of Von Sonen. Michelin right there with the group. 2 cars lingering here a little bit further behind. Seems like they've had their own separate incident. This is Cameron Jackson and Marcus Petrovich. Car in pit lanes, Shufin Zhang as Wyatt Jones comes around the final corner. And there is Astra Crane, who is worse for wear from an incident on lap 1 that I guess we did not quite grab the full picture on. And you see the skid marks there rejoining the oval might be a part of the explanation as to why. But it's held up Stephanie Porter Kelly and put her right back into the grasp of Hazel Leon. Nicole Lechty in 3rd, 4th place Kovalkiewicz, 5th place Porter. Then you have Valdez up into the top 6 around Natalia Velicevic. There's Alexander, there's Glover, there's Leroux in the Red Bull car. Lundqvist now looking at the numbers, looking like 11th place right now for Lundqvist, I'd have to believe. 11th or 12th for the 97. As everyone gets into the rhythm of things here in Denver. Side by side, it is Glover and Leroux. And these two are battling for 9th place. Lundqvist is in 11th place. So this is the fringe of the top 10 and just outside of it altogether in a line. Glover trying to hold on to 9th place will do so and go on the attack after Alexander for the 8th spot. Hops the curve a little bit there, but stays clear of Leroux. Right on the gearbox of the Nashville native. Kovalevich keeping the championship leader at bay at the moment, as the top 3 have all dispatched. The lap traffic now of Astra Crane. 26th and now officially a lap down. Wyatt Jones on an island as Cameron Jackson does make his way down pit lane officially. He's Petrovic on an island, same with Wyatt Jones. Cameron Jackson will come out with his teammate Shufin Zhang here. We're going to see the two near each other on pit exit. Pit exit. One of the safer features of the racetrack, warm-up lane, all the way through ovals turn 1 and 2. You don't see them rejoin until the approach to turn 3. Fantastic stuff here. The teammates are indeed together. Porter Kelly has led 4 of the first 5 laps in this race. Hazel Leon led one of those 5 laps, and now it's the top 3 on their own, as you see the distance that they've already put on the rest of the field as they were battling things out. Porter Kelly hopped and skipped away, and now Leon and Lechty have gotten the same idea. But again, that's not going to be too much of a concern when you're looking at Evangeline Porter's record here. Most top 5s, most top 10s of any driver in the season. Only one podium to show trophy-wise, hardware-wise this season. It's not a season of accolades. It's a season of proficiency for the 81 team. And they've done a fantastic job of that. They've been proficient on ovals. They've been proficient on the road courses. 13 laps led going into the day for the 81 crew. Among the lowest in the field. And it is the lowest of anyone in the top 5 in points. I believe second lowest of anyone in the top 10. But I could be mistaken on that. As Porter goes for 4th place. She believes she's got the pace to lead the line. Feeling the pressure of Mia Valdez, who is a distant contender for the championship crown at the moment. Valdez 4th in points, a little over a race behind. So Porter just kind of putting some extra space, some extra real estate between herself and Valdez. Letting the 96 of Kovalevich be a pick there. There's PK Glover in 8th, Alexander in 9th. Here comes Lundqvist around the lap traffic and got around Simona Leroux. So Lundqvist finding some stability here as Kozlov and Draco battle it out for the 12th spot is where they're at right now, and it'll be Draco that gets 12th place ahead of the Russian ace. Kage Kobayashi right there in 14th, Catherine Hart in 15th, so not a bad group to be in. Julia Takani now leading the second line in 16th place. Then it's Hofston. Then you see you got Rogers and Ishibashi battling side by side. Ishibashi will get around. Rogers going to be put 3 wide. There's Michelin and Von Sonnen side by side. And Rogers will back out of that one because you cannot put 3 down the hill like that. Coherent and cognizant of where his limitations were and his positioning on the racetrack. He'll lose a couple spots out of that, but he'll live to fight another day. Michelin, the big winner out of that, 2 spots gained in one go. As everyone gets around Crane, who is 1 lap down in the early going here. Top 3 all together. Here comes Leon with a chance to try to go for the race lead. Got a lot of slipstream, but these cars also producing a lot of downforce. Way more downforce than if we were running the oval here at Denver Motorsports Park. Got keeping Leon at bay. Top 3 all Previous world champions, Letty the defending world champion. Leon won her world crown in 2021. Porticali, last time a champion in 2016, has finished runner-up twice, in 2017 and in 2020. So she's been around the block a few times. 46 career wins, we talked about that last week. Led 90 laps in the race in Kentucky. Got pinned a lap down when a caution came out under pit stop sequence and never fully recovered from that. That sequence of events led to Nicole Letty and Simona Leroux getting a 1-2 for Highlight Racing in Kentucky. Letty grabbing her first win of the season, moving herself up the order and closer to the top 10 as she tries to mount a serious championship defense charge. Porticali started off the season pretty slowly. At the start of the season, took quite a few races to really get going. Really didn't see Porticali get up and underway until the Indianapolis 500. Led up until 3 laps to go. Unforced error relegated her second behind Wyatt Jones. That win at Indianapolis helped thrust Wyatt Jones into the championship conversation at the Brickyard, and he has been struggling to maintain it since. Wyatt Jones 23rd, Porter in 4th still, as Leon pressures the 60 of Porticali. Side by side, you see this mess here. This is Kovalevich, Valdez side by side. The 7 of Velisevich and the 6 of Glover were also side by side. Valdez will now lose a spot to Velisevich, who had a really good charge out of turn 4. And we'll get clear before heading down the hill. Wonderful complex here. Got to get off the throttle a little bit because it wants to bounce you around. It's so sharp and such a steep drop too. And you see how much Valdez got hurt by being offline there. And here comes Lundqvist around Valdez. So too did Alexander go through. Leroux trying to go through as well. But Valdez will try to hold firm and stop the bleeding. Just outside the top 10 now. Cars still put together, although you see some cars beginning to straggle and struggle in this madness. Catherine Hart beginning to lose steps, so is Kaika Kobayashi. Hart now under threat from the 95 of Takani. A little bit of a heads up though with Takani. With Lundqvist now in the mix, Takani has a little bit of pressure on her to try to finish the season strong and keep that 95 in good form. No Rich Koivuniemen, as things sit, will be in the Champ Car World Series seat with Arrowhead next year. It's just a matter of what seat the Finnish driver will be in. Right now applying pressure to the 31 of Catherine Hart. Side by side racing here. That's Velisevich trying to find a way around Glover. Didn't work. Porter still leading Kovalevich for 4th. Meanwhile, front of the field, Hazel Leon has passed Stephanie Porticali. Porticali has led 8 laps of the 50 scheduled in this race. Leon's led 1. We're coming around to complete lap 10. Now it could be a caution-free event. Hazel Leon, speaking of silly season, could be a very sought-after driver. Cat Devil Racing, Highlight Racing, Team Impulse. Arrowhead could be in the mix there. For Leon, several teams looking to acquire the services of the 2021 world champion going into 2025 and the future. And now it's believed the bidding price is around $2.5 million a year for Leon. Race win for Leon here today. Lit up that price by a pretty decent margin. That car won with Kenosha in Mexico City back in March, and that's very important to keep note of. This is the exact same car that ran in March. Mexico City and Denver, two of the highest altitude races in the series. Two of the highest altitude races in the world, all things considered. We know how strong that car was in Mexico, and it is showing itself to be just as strong right now here in Denver as well. That team has got the high altitude stuff figured out pretty high here in Denver. Sakura Ishibashi, wounded as she is, already up to 17th place, and we know Mia Valdez is in the mix as well in the top 10. So Cat Duffer Racing has got it figured out impressively so, and consistently so, more than most of the other teams right now running in the series. Here comes Lechty. Porticelli did not get a good exit. Lechty surprisingly didn't sweep to the bottom of the racetrack, stayed behind Porticelli. Very interesting there for Lechty, as Porticelli loses touch with Leon. Don't look now. Eventually Porter is on the charge, trying to close in on the podium. And there's a little bit of pressure to it. There's Glover, now in 5th. Vulisevich in 6th. Kovalkiewicz has dropped to 7th. Valdez 8th. 9th Lundqvist. Battle for 10th right now. It is 2 Chevrolet cars. Alexander in the 11. Simona Leroux in the 77. This is for 10th. And Leroux will take it. Alexander 11th now. Kozlov 12th. Draco 13th. Kobayashi 14th, 15th for Catherine Hart, 16th for Takani, 17th, that's Rio Flying, Sakura Ishibashi, she's already gotten around. Esther Hofson, there's Matthias Michelin who's closing in on Hofson as well. Anastasius von Sonnen right now in 20th after starting 26th. And then you'll find Marcus Petrovich in 21st, Thomas Rogers 22nd, 23rd, Wyatt Jones on an island, 1 minute 11 behind the race leader. Cameron Jackson in 24th, Shufin Jiang 25th. Obviously Asher Crane, as we saw earlier, a lap down. Hazel Leon, lap leader once again, as Lechty did get around Porticelli that time for 2nd place. Although the gap between 1st and 2nd doubled from 0.6 to 1.2 seconds. Porter in 4th, Glover in 5th, trying to waltz away from this massive Congo line. Of drivers here, the Congo line that is just never ending, it seems. A little bit of separation between Lundqvist and Kozlov here. Kozlov getting around Leroux and Alexander. Draco also getting around Alexander too in this contest. Cars in bunches all around the racetrack here. Everyone trying to catch up to this group right here, who have done a decent job reeling in this lap. The 32 of Leon. It is Leon, Lechty, and Porticelli, your top 3 at the moment. Coming to complete lap number 13 of 50 here in Denver Motorsports Park. That lap belongs to Artyom Kozlov, the Russian ace, with a 138.208. A little bit of slipstream will help with that quite a bit. Lechty trying to close in more. 1.2 was the gap last time around. We'll see what it is this time around. When the scoreboard updates, we'll know where Lechty stands compared to Hazel Leon. 7/10, closed down 5/10 of a second here, and it looks like it's closing down a little bit more. Slipstream really kick in approaching turn 3. Might be closer here. Porter, Velicevic, and Glover in the mix as well. That is the 96 of Kovalkiewicz being attacked right now by the 34 of Valdez, trying to send a way around. Kovalkiewicz a little bit more privy to it on the outside. We'll get clear before the S's. There you go. And that'll save Kovalkiewicz's bacon just a second on that. Two teammates in this group. There's Lundqvist just behind Valdez. See where everyone else is at too. 3 cars together in mass. Kobayashi, Hart, and Takani. This is 14th, 15th, and 16th right now, and Sakura Ishibashi closing in. Here we go, Valdez trying to get around the 96 of Kovalkiewicz, will do so through ovals turn 3 and 4. Big question, will Lundqvist also do the same? Teammates battling side by side, and it will be in favor of the Swedish driver. Lundqvist around the 96. And here you go, battle for the race lead. Leon led at the line. Lechty gonna take it over through oval turn 1 and 2. And Porter Kelly trying to go for second. Race leaders under a blanket through 3. Leon drops to 3rd, from 1st to 3rd in half a lap. Cole Lechty trying to get her hands on the race lead here. Leon led 7 laps to this race. Sorry, 6 laps to this race. 8 belong to Porter Kelly. We're on lap 15 now. And now it's in the hands of the defending world champion. Lechty out in front. And the lead battle is pretty intense. As they battle, so too is this battle between teammates potentially. Porter and Velicevic, 4th and 5th. Glover in 6th, applying pressure as well. Valdez trying to hold off the charging Lundqvist. That is also in the top 10. That is for 7th place. Kovalkiewicz dropped all the way down out of the top 10 to 11th, and under threat once more from Andrew Draco, who will make easy work of Kovalkiewicz, who is now struggling on the exit of some of these corners. It's twice in a row now that Kovalkiewicz has struggled rejoining the oval section, and will get passed by Alexander here as well. Lundqvist trying to defend from Valdez, using the far outside lane. Valdez, though, shortest way around, quickest way around. And try to clear and make some headway through ovals turn 1 and 2 with Leroux to follow. See what Lechty's been able to do as these two have battled it out for 2nd place, and they still battle it out here. Porter Kelly trying to fight back, and will fight back out of 4th. And Porter Kelly gets back to 2nd place going into the hairpin. First one of the lap, still side by side. It should be Leon's ball, and it will be. And you noticed Porter Kelly no longer in 4th. Velicevic dispatched her teammate and allowed Glover to get ahead as well. Obviously, team orders not a thing on the Atomic Autosport camp. So Porter now in the 6th spot. Kozlov up to 7th. See Valdez in 8th, 9th for Leroux, 10th for Lundqvist. Then it's Draco 11th, Alexander 12th, 13th. For the 96 of Kovalkiewicz. Then you have Kobayashi. There's the 31 of Catherine Hart, who's lost another spot here down to the 15th spot. And then Takani in 16th. 17th still Ishibashi. Here comes Matthias Michelin for 17th. Sorry, for 18th, excuse me. Around Esterhausen and clear before the chicane. As Von Sonen gets clear of the 80 of Crane, who's a lap car. Look at this gap that Lechty has built up over Leon and Porter Kelly. 2 seconds, largest gap anyone's had so far in this race on lap 17 of 50. It's a big deal that they've got to try to close in now pretty massively. Tires beginning to give way though. Primary compound tire gone pretty far. Don't believe we're looking at a one-stop race though. Be very interesting to see if we are. We know we're on the 100% renewable fuel kick with the biobutanol and ethanol blend. We've seen some crazy fuel mileage come out of these cars before. I don't believe a one-stop race is quite on the cards. Here comes Porter Kelly around the 32 of Leon. That is for second place again. They are dispatched from the race leader, Lecty, who's trying to go 2 in a row and really kickstart a championship charge. Meanwhile, Leon playing with house money and Porter Kelly just trying to put together a solid season after a rough start. .6 now the gap as these two continue to battle it out. They are losing time massively, and that's what it looks like visually. This group's here, staring at the podium places right now. A little bit to keep pace here with Velisevich and Glover, as once again Leon gets around Porter Kelly for second place. See what the gap looks like here. Start lap 19. .9 now the gap. Letty almost a 3-second advantage. She is set sail and is clear. Meanwhile, you've got a huge gaggle forming and converging on the podium places here. Alexander staying ahead of Draco. Takani's got ahead of both Kobayashi and Captain Hart. That's for 14th place. There is Sakura Ishibashi still in 17th, but closing in tightly on this battle. Michelin in 18th. 19th Hofson, 20th is Von Sonnen, 21st is Marcus Petrovich, 22nd Thomas Rogers all the way back here, Wyatt Jones in 23rd, 24th Cameron Jackson, Shufan Jang 25th, Asher Crane still 1 lap down, but everyone's still running in this race. Colletti, your race leader at the moment, trying to go for 2 in a row, something that's not been done since the start of the season with Thomas Rogers. And right now sitting with an impressive form to go with it. Not the fastest lap so far. That still belongs to Artyom Kozlov. Now Natalia Velisevich 1:37.9 for Vulicevic. Gap staying steady at 2.8 seconds as Leon tries to crawl back towards the race leader. But here comes Vulicevic around Porter-Kelly for third place. Slowly losing touch here on that lead. Leon, now that she's gotten clear and stayed clear of Porter-Kelly, he's closed it down to 2.2 seconds. Vulicevic, though, on a very hard charge right now, up to fourth place, trying to get to the podium places here. Vulicevic sitting right now in that fourth spot. Glover in fifth, Porter in sixth. As the racing continues on here, here comes Glover for fourth though. Slow exit back onto the oval for Vulicevic, gives Glover a chance to go for that fourth spot. Mistake we have not seen Vulicevic make for quite a bit. And it's going to work out quite well. Vulicevic down to fifth. As you see the top two once again battling it out. Lechty keeping an eye on Leon and Porter-Kelly. Crossing the line here, lap 22 underway. And the gap you can see noticeably shrinking. One thing I've noticed here is that it looks like we are going to have a one-stop race here. Very interesting what the altitude does to these turbocharged monsters. 1.3 the gap. So they are closing in. Leon and Porter-Kelly have let the lead out to catch back up to Lechty before pit stops begin here. Lechty has led 7 laps. Coming to lead lap number 8. Leon has led 6. Porter-Kelly has led 8. So, battle for most laps led points also in the air. For someone like Lechty, every point counts. Lechty did not get pole position, so the max that she can get right now is 53. Three cars together under a blanket. Lap 23 underway. And it's now down 1.2 seconds separates the entire podium as things stand. They have waltzed away from that group, battling for fourth once again. Velisevich back ahead, so is Porter ahead of Glover. So that's top 6 all sorted. Kozlov in 7th now, ahead of Lundqvist, ahead of Valdez, Leroux, and Kovalkiewicz, who's the odd one out in 11th right now. Trying to get into the top 10. Draco in 12th. 13th is Alexander. 14th Takani. As everyone spreads out ahead of Kobayashi and the 31 of Catherine Hart, who's in 16th place. Ishibashi continues to close in. Pit stops will be very welcome for some of these drivers to try to make things happen here. At this point, they've just got to go and try to stretch it to lap 25. Get to the end of 25, come down pit lane, and making sure it's a one-stop race. Screen center of it, Lechty. To the right-hand side is Leon. The chicane. Everyone trying to make these tires last just a little bit. Lechty staying ahead of Leon here. This is the lead 9 laps in this race so far, and it's happened. So Lechty now most laps led. But once again, tightening up at the front. Nose to tail here, entering the final 2 corners. Chicane. And there goes Porticelli in. Ooh, and lap 24 too. That is not good, and a lot of cars coming down pit lane. Oh, it's going to make this very, very close. Porticelli, Velisevich, Glover, Porter. All 3 of the Arrowhead cars, Lundqvist, Kovalkiewicz, and Takani. Valdez is in, Alexander in, Draco in. That is the 42 of Kobayashi, the 31 of Hart, the 33 of Ishibashi, the 99 of Michelin. Von Sonnen in as well. And in comes the 21 of Petrovic as well. Leaves 2 cars out together. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. These two are going to come down pit lane together here. The end of 25, which should be enough to get them to the end of the race. It's going to be close though. And one that stayed out last lap is going to come in, and this is a very thin margin here. Porticelli out ahead by a pretty substantial margin. Lechty led 10 laps, make that 11. Going across the line in pit lane. Leon was right there with Lechty. Porter Kelly in the same group, hit a lap earlier. So we'll see how everyone blends out here. Overcut or undercut, which one preferred? And then the next question you have to ask, does this in effect who makes it to the finish? Is the window a little bit more fluid? Porter Kelly across the line. There's both of them. Leon got around Lechty. But Porter Kelly at full song. Not going to be close enough to get to those two cars right now. But strong exit out of 3 is going to put her right on the tail of them. They've got cold tires. They got to heat up. Kozlov passed by Glover and by the 7 of Velisevich, but Porter struggling with Leroux. Fresh tires, though, will help Porter power around Leroux inside lane on that hairpin. A little bit of progressive making in that hairpin as well will help Porter out. Porter sitting in the, looks like the 7th spot is how things ended up shaking out there for Porter. Other cars in this group. Takani got around Draco in pit stop sequence. Very interesting there. Just browsing and perusing through. Jackson around Petrovic. Shivan Zhang on a little bit of an island here, but some pit stops still need to be made. Wyatt Jones, one of those having to make a pit stop here. Staying on the lead lap. 3 cars in this mix, and the warmed up tires for Porter Kelly proved to be effective to a degree, having gotten around Lechty. Leading the way. Very busy Denver Motorsports Park. Far away is Velisevich, Glover. You see the battle going on right now. 6th place, that is Kozlov and Porter for 6th. Kozlov would love to have Porter stay in the rearview mirror. Ooh, possible switch under. It is going to be a switch under. There goes Porter to the inside of Kozlov. Kozlov shut the door. Good race between these two. Let deep back around Porter Kelly. Stuff so far as the battles rage on. We're going to step aside for our only commercial break of the race here at the Spyder Grand Prix at Denver. will continue after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on ABN. Welcome back to the Spyder Grand Prix at Denver. Caution out for the first time today. And you see the lights out on the pace truck coming back from caution. Cameron Jackson, a self-spin, single car spin, but in traffic. The reason for the yellow, a tire blowout for Cameron Jackson. Attacking these curves pretty hard. Cameron Jackson trying to make some inroads here. Came down and grabbed emergency service. We'll start at the back of the field here on this restart. So under caution for the first time today. That changes a lot. That puts the field together for the first time since the start of the race. Single file, albeit. Shufan Zhang a lap down. Asher Crane a lap down. And you're noticing a lot of cars staying out. Very interesting. That's the indication that all the cars are good on fuel. Minus a few. And you see some of the contact there as Catherine Hart in the 31 car with some front wing damage. That's Esther Hobson still on pit lane. Esther Hobson going a lap down, I do believe here. Hobson was not a lap down before. Whoa! Was that who just retired from the race? Takani coming out of pit lane now. So a lot has happened here as Hart comes out of pit lane. So Von Sonnen. Hobson still on pit lane. Did something happen with Hobson on the way in? Something just happened to Hobson here that caused this is after the caution had already come out. Hobson just really struggling and not making it back. Now you see Hobson back out and running now, but a lap down. Kobayashi is out of this race. We don't have any indication as to what happened with Kobayashi here. But Kobayashi is out of this race. The first official retirement of this race, as things have kicked off in a very interesting way. So caution underway for the first time here in Denver, and this changes a decent amount. Though most of the field staying out is a very interesting predicament to be in here. I think a lot of people were expecting some cars to come down pit lane. We're going to see how everyone handles this now with less than 20 to go. It's going to be interesting. Is that an issue with Lechty? Caution light's still on. Lechty just went through the grass a little bit. There might be a problem with Lechty here. That 78 car, a little bit concerning. Keep an eye on both Lechty and Porter-Kelly here. Lechty is coming down pit lane, so there's an issue with the 78 car, who's led 11 laps of this race, and now we'll have the unenviable task of trying to crawl back forward from 23rd in the field. And that moves Porter-Kelly up to second. Field will pull up here. Whoa! Something's really happened to Lechty there. Lechty in trouble. That is with Crane. What just happened? What just happened to Nicole Lechty? Oh, wow. Something just happened and Lechty lost steering. So there is a steering issue that's caused Lechty to come down pit lane, and now it's a hard stop down pit lane as Crane came down pit lane to try to get some tires and fuel, being a lap down here. So Lechty in huge trouble now on even being able to return to the race. Lights out on the pace truck, which means we are going right at the end of this lap. Lechty is rolling. Lechty is rolling. So she will join the back of the field if she can get to the field in time. Crane's joined the back of the field as well. Whoa, and Hobson. Oh, wow, it just keeps going. Hobson, who had to be returned to pit lane after suffering some sort of mechanical issue, has suffered another one, and this one's terminal. This one will be terminal for Esther Hobson. So Hobson in trouble. Lechty's joined the back of the line. Hobson's got a long way to crawl back to pit lane too. Pace truck's going to roll in, and it's going to be Hazel Leon and Stephanie Porter-Kelly leading the field around, plus Taya Velisevich, the driver with the fastest lap so far in this race. Green flag flies, away we go. Here we go. Everyone fanning out. Through ovals turn 1 and 2, now towards turn 3. Kozlov and Velisevich, two fastest cars on the racetrack, battling for 4th. Velisevich currently has that spot. Velisevich trying to get it back from Kozlov, side by side, the Russian and the Slovenian. And side by side, a little further back, that's Porter and Leroux. Now, Shufan Zhang, who is a lap down in this contest right now, also in the mix. The entire field back together and bunched up together. Further back, it's Nicole Lechty already trying to sort through, as is Wyatt Jones, who now has the chance for the first time all day to fight for positions. Wide around Andrew Draco here. Seen that a few times. Draco though on the wrong end of it. And you see 3 wide here. This is Jackson attacking 2 Arrowhead cars. And he's going to pick up one of those spots. He's going to pick up the spot on Lundqvist. But he's going to pay for it because he will not be able to get around Kovalkiewicz. Field beginning to waltz away once more. Glover now in this top 3 fight with Leon and Porter-Kelly, though Verizon Team Impulse having a little bit more fight from the cavalry because there's Kozlov in 4th. Kozlov trying to close in on that podium battle. So is Velicevic. LaRose got ahead of Porter. Seeing the fight play out again here, with coming to 15 laps to go. Here goes the fight. That's Kozlov around Glover for third. Velicevic trying to get around for fourth. They're going to be side by side once again through turn 3. And this gonna be in favor of the 7 of Velicevic. Unless Kozlov can hang around the outside of 4. No, not quite. Good effort though. Velicevic up to third. The top two have a little bit of a buffer. That is an absolute mess of cars here. Everyone trying to find some real estate. Here comes Glover attacking. Once again, teammates battling through here. Not a lot of fight from Kozlov. He was slow returning to the oval. And that gives space for Velicevic to also make a way through. And how about Porter? Can Evangeline Porter make a way through? No. Too far back. Looks to the inside of Velicevic. Gonna have a peek and gonna go for it. Back up to third. And side by side, the battle for fourth place. A little further behind, that's Velicevic getting ahead and staying ahead of the 77 as Porter battles around Valdez on the inside track here. Still side by side, going towards the hill. Down the hill we go, and it's going to be Porter with the advantage over Valdez, and it's going to possibly open the door for Kovalkiewicz. It does. Bullish driver right there on the rear tire of Valdez, trying to find a way through. So is Cameron Jackson. New lease on life for several drivers that were out of this one completely. Valdez under threat from Jackson. Thomas Rogers in the mix. Lechty still struggling. Lundqvist also on the back foot right now. They'll try to get around the 20 of Shufenjang, the lap car. 2 lap cars in this race. 2 cars out of this race with Hobson, Kobayashi out. Zhang and Crane 1 lap down. What a descent it has been for Nicole Lechty. Jones also in this mix. On Sonnen around Michelin and Petrovic. Then you have Crane, who's again a lap down here. That's Draco, Ishibashi, and Alexander. And then you have Takani further back. Captain Hart, last car on the lead lap at the moment, 22nd place, not where the Australian driver wants to be. Leon leading by about a second here. Velicevic trying to close in on Porter Kelly to battle for that second spot. Levers lost a spot to Simona Leroux, but staying in the top 5 at the moment. Artyom Kozlov in 6th. Then it's Valdez, Porter, Kovalkiewicz in ninth spot. And then here's the battle for 10th. Look who's close to it. Wyatt Jones closing in on the championship rival, who right now would extend that gap back to the 40 points it was at Kentucky. Jones under threat here from the 78 of Lechty. Trying to battle around Cameron Jackson here as Lechty and Lundqvist battle it out as well. Jackson will stay ahead of the 25 of Jones. This is for the 11th spot, just outside the top 10. Rogers in the top 10 as things stand and trying to charge forward. Porter in 8th. Glover falling back just a little bit here, and you see Hazel Leon is checked out here with the race lead. Velisevich trying to close in. This will be interesting. Velisevich's fastest car on the racetrack, now with a clear sight line towards Leon. Top 3, top 4 have all not won a race this season. Let's go back to Kozlov, Glover, Valdez. All 3 of them have won a race this season. So it looks more and more likely that we're going to have an extension of new race winners this season. Coming to 10 laps to go when we cross our finish line one more time. About 10 laps to go. Velisevich closing in on Leon. Leon has led 20 laps of this race. Realistically, most laps led belongs to the New Zealander. Can Hazel Leon close down the race lead? What a launch by Velisevich. Going into the last chicane, Velisevich out front. New race leader will be the Slovenian, who had a rocket ship launch and has it again. Leon really slow, really slow. That is Leroux catching up and going by, and Porter Kelly will try to do the same. Leon really butchered that. Down to 4th in 1 lap. And Velisevich now unchecked. Kozlov up to 5th, Glover 6th. And you're seeing this battle rage on. Evangeline Porter now in 10th place, behind Kovalkiewicz and Rogers. Importantly, still ahead of Wyatt Jones. She's going to try to keep it that way. Valdez ahead and Glover ahead. Will not help Porter at all, but they weren't as close as Wyatt Jones was. At the very least, Wyatt Jones trying to negate the damage. 3 points, way easier to survive and walk away from than what was potentially a 30-point swing. I would have put almost a race and a half distance between Porter and everybody else. Now that's not the case. Here comes Thomas Rogers looking to the inside of Kovalkiewicz. Can Porter make any inroads here? It doesn't seem like Porter has the acceleration to really capitalize on these mistakes. Other drivers are going through. Going to try to get to the inside of Kovalevich here. Slides in. Clobbers the curb a little bit. Gets all of it, though. And grabs the spot. Leon back up to second. But they have allowed Velisic, the fastest car on the racetrack, to have a lot of breathing space. With 8 laps to go. Really try to reel back in Velisic here, and going to be very necessary for Leon. Leon struggling once again. Got passed by Leroux, getting passed once again by Porter Kelly. Leroux once again looking at back-to-back podiums here as things stand at the moment. Obviously subject to change. But we got some fights going on here. Porter back up right behind the gearbox of Rogers in 9th place. Kovalevich been dropped out of the top 10 in favor of Cameron Jackson. Wyatt Jones now struggling behind the lap traffic of Schiff and Zhang, and behind the 97 of Siri Lundqvist. Right now behind Lechty. Lechty in 12th, Lundqvist in 13th. A little bit further behind, outside the top 14. Michelin in 15th, 16th Petrovic, 17th Von Sonen, 18th Draco. Not a great run for either of the Phantom Motors cars right now. No fault of their own really on that, I don't believe. Draco is especially a top 10 contender earlier on in this race. Alexander sitting in the 19th spot. Sakura Ishibashi in 20th, wounded still, and now showing the effects a little bit more. Julia Takani 21st, Catherine Hart 22nd, last car on the lead lap, and here's your race leader all alone with 7 laps to go. This battle for second place raging on once again. Look at Kozlov closing in on this battle too. Could be 4 cars battling for the top spots on the podium here. It's all about if he can close in on Velisic though. That is the magical question that I think we're going to find an answer to. Blizzard with 5 laps led in this race. Looking to see how the update stands on the position gap between first and second. 2.3 is what we're seeing right now. 3 seconds to Aurora in third, who's center of your screen. A really good recovery drive, all things considered, by Team Impulse. Right now, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Although, obviously, still some time to play out here, coming to 5 to go. Nia Valdez sitting there in the 8th position, Porter in 9th, Lechty in 10th, Jackson 11th, Kovalkiewicz 12th, Lundqvist on return, respectable 12th as things, or respectable 13th as things stand. Wyatt Jones recovering to 14th place. Lechty looking to the inside of Valdez, nothing going there. Porter under threat from the 96 of Kovalkiewicz, and this would throw Porter out of the top 10. It would, down to 11th. Porter going to try to fight it back though. It's for the fringe of the top 10. Kovalkiewicz once in it. Not a lot of time left to try to make things happen here in Denver. Kovalkiewicz down 2 spots now behind Lundqvist here. Porter back up to 9th in a very doozy way of handling things there. Actually, no, might actually still be in 11th here, if I'm doing my math correctly. A lot of things have happened here. One thing that has not changed is Bilisevic's chokehold right now on the field with 4 laps to go. 2.1 was the gap last time around with 5 to go, 4 to go. Let's see how much it changes here. Porter trying to reel in Bilisevich, and looks like doing a really good job of it. And yeah, it's reflected. 1.2. Leon up to 3rd once again around Leroux. 5th still Kozlov, and safely so. The safe seems to be a little bit more of an illusion. 6th is Rogers, 7th is Glover. They swap places. Lechty in 8th. 9th is Valdez. 10th is Porter. So Porter is top 10. We did get that math correct somehow. Cameron Jackson has now dropped down to the 13th spot behind the Arrowhead Racing duo of Lundqvist and Kovalkiewicz. Wyatt Jones 14th. Now around the 20 of Schiffenjang. Still a lot to decipher here. But time for things to play out. And Porter is going to go for the race win, number 47. Now's the time to do it. Bilisevich leading the way. Porter in 2nd. Going to try to keep closing that gap in. I don't think Porter had a really good run out of the last chicane that time through, if the gauge to Leon is any indication. Yep, and Leon had a really good run. Porter just chopped it off and blocked it. Once again for 2nd place. outside. Portichelli to the inside lane here. Portichelli on the wrong side here. Whoa! Stuck the landing, though, down the hill and stayed in second place. And now Leon once again has to deal with Leroux. And once again, Artem Kozlov in the fray, but not enough to be in the conversation. Coming to 2 laps to go. Battle for third right now. Leroux's got the advantage. Leon seems to have the headway here. Across our finish line with 2 to go. Try to go and take third away. Can this be for good? Gap opened 4 seconds. This one, I think, might be on the ice for Natalia Vulicevic. Artem Kozlov sitting 5th and losing touch once again. Glover back up to 6th. And an interesting play here. As side by side is Lechty and Valdez. Doors open. Porter's going to follow Lechty through. No hesitation there at all. Porter's like, I'll take those extra 2 points, thank you. So that puts Porter to 9th, Lechty in 8th, Valdez in 10th. Ahead of both the Arrowhead cars that are sitting 11th and 12th right now. To the white flag. 1 lap to go for your race leader. 1 lap to go, presented by PNC Bank. It is Vulicevic that leads the way by a whopping margin for Stephanie Portichelli. And Hazel Leon trying to chase down the 3-time world champion with less than 3 3/4 miles left to play. Simona Leroux, another respectable effort here. Top 5 assured, with Artem Kozlov in 5th, off in the distance. See where Vulicevic is. That's where Catherine Hart is at right now, having to make an extra pit stop. Asher Crane also coming down pit lane here, aware of these cars showing their signs. Portichelli trying to hold on to 2nd place, only a couple of really important zones left. Vulicevic going through the first of the important zones left here now. And she is in the clear, looking for her 2nd career win in the Champ Car World Series. Won as a rookie last year. Looking to do so again here. She'll go through the final chicane. And she'll come out of the other side looking at the start-finish line. Natalia Vulicevic is once again a race winner. She takes Denver Motorsports Park. Stephanie Portichelli and Hazel Leon round out the podium. Simona Leroux, top 5. Same with Artem Kozlov, Glover, Rogers, Lechty, Porter, and Valdez round out the top 10 here in Denver. Wyatt Jones stayed 14th, couldn't make any more inroads on that. There is Matthias Michelin 16th over Marcus Petrovich. So one of the cars coming down across the start-finish line. But it is Natalia Vulicevic once more a race winner. 13 new winners in 14 races. And we have more of that to come in just 7 days when we head to Portland International Raceway to do it all over again. Velisevich, race winner here in Denver. Second career Champ Car win for last year's Rookie of the Year. She'll come down pit lane, head down the Parc Fermé and celebrate with their team. Beautiful sights and sounds of Denver Motorsports Park welcomed us, greeted us, and celebrated us for 50 laps here around an amazing facility in the Mile High City. Natalia Velisevich, Stephanie Porter-Kelly, and Hazel Leon, your top three. Evangeline Porter once again extending her championship advantage. Now with 10 races to go. You'll see us again 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Portland International Raceway. It is the Methanex Grand Prix of Portland. We'll see you there next Sunday. On behalf of everyone here for ABN Studios, for ABN Sports, Verizon Corporation, AT&T, and the Champ Car World Series, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We'll see you again next time out on the West Coast. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you at the track next time out. So long, everybody.